Right, my name is Max Shears. I'm 18 years old and I'm a student at Leeds Beckett. I support two teams, Arsenal and Barnsley, which doesn't go down very well often, but I support them my whole life.
My name's Freddie Butler, 18, sports journalist at Leeds Beckett Uni, support Liverpool, support them my whole life through my stepdad.
Nice one. Right, I reckon first thing, Premier League football last weekend. Okay, first game, Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. Tell me your thoughts straight away.
Good game of football, good entertaining game. Aston Villa on the title charge.
No. So I think the biggest thing from this game is VAR. Like, you watch me.
Yeah, again.
I was fuming, almost in tears. Ended up sat on the floor in the 96th minute. Like, what do you think about the Kai Havertz goal?
It's such a dodgy one. It's because it's come off Matty Cash's hand as well.
To me, if the rule is that Havertz is a handball there, when Matty Cash does it first, it's a penalty. I think the best way, and I can't remember the exact wording, but when VAR was first introduced, it said, like, benefit the attacking team. What part of that has benefited the attacking team there? Like, if it's close.
And it's also what Arteta said about how VAR is only supposed to step in with, like, clear and obvious errors.
Exactly.
Was that clear and obvious?
But that's the thing, that the ref gave it as a handball. And now I don't want to speculate. Yeah. But I had question marks over Jared Gillett that whole game, didn't I? How many times did I say Jared Gillett?
You had question marks.
So, to me, in real time, in a professional football game, there's no way he spotted it.
Yeah,
I think we send him to League Two.
I don't send him all the way down there.
Because, like, he's not spotted that. Yeah. I think he has just seen a kerfuffle. The Villa players kick off, the Villa fans kick off.
Exactly.
And in the moment, at Villa Park,
fans have, like, influenced the decision.
Which, I'm sorry, you're a professional. The fans can't really get into Bukayo Saka's head because he's a professional. Like, that's not an excuse. So to me, if you are being influenced by that, and then again, it's not a handball when Matty Cash has hit it with the same part of his arm first. I agree, he does get his hand at one point, Kai Havertz, but that's after back and forth between them. How close in the moment, and even then, Havertz's hand isn't out. Like,
you'd think it'd either be a penalty or a goal. Like, either.
It's so harsh to not give Arsenal a decision there. I agree it's tight, and I'd probably feel a bit hard done by if they said penalty, and then I don't know, Saka went and missed that penalty. But at least there's some sort of justification. And again, like, stuff like that's been given as a goal, stuff like that's been given as a penalty. Like, it's just there's no week in, week out it changes.
There's no
and that's
consistency.
The issue. There is no consistency, and it's not the one. But a highlight from that game, in my opinion at least, Kai Havertz.
He's starting to develop. He's starting to develop in that midfield role.
I called it since the Man City game. I think you've got Odegaard who gives the silky flair. He's got the perfect pass on him, but you need someone to just run at a man. And, like, I don't watch the most Bundesliga football, but Kai Havertz, from what I remember before his time for Chelsea, he'd run at a man, he'd win his headers, he's a target man, he can pretty much end up anywhere in that front three. Like, on the attack, he flows. And I think he's got that confidence now. The fans have got a few chants about him. He's got a few goals. Like, I think he's a confidence player, definitely.
100%.
And I think he could be good. I don't know long-term where he slots in, really, because I think Arteta's almost got his perfect lineup. If you look at it, I think Saka's going nowhere, Martinez's going nowhere, Odegaard's going nowhere. I think they'll get someone to compete with Jesus. I don't think Havertz is that guy.
No.
So I think long-term Havertz is almost just a squad player, which there's nothing wrong with. Like, you take Kai Havertz in your team, but I don't see a place for him really long-term in Arteta's squad. I might be wrong.
Well, to win a title, you need good depth.
Exactly. I love him. I think he's great. I just think long-term Arteta will want a partner to Rice that's a lot more solid. Think about it, like, I don't know, next year, Arsenal versus Barcelona in the Champions League final, are you starting Kai Havertz next to Declan Rice? I think
they are targeting that.
I think you hear about Douglas Luiz.
Yeah.
There you are, all the time. I think it's clear that he wants another defensive midfielder, whether that's to compete with Rice. But then, to be fair, you see Rice's first season with Arsenal, and the amount of times he's playing that midfield by himself. like defensive,
Yeah.
leaving Havertz and Odegaard to play. So maybe
I think it
maybe
depends
trust him.
who you play against, whether that midfield.
That's what I want. That's what I want. I want someone else to come in there and A, compete with Rice, but also B, be an option to put out two defensive midfielders, a solid back four, and an attacking midfielder, attack Man City or something.
Exactly.
Like, you can't always go with that silky football because you are going to get undone.
Yeah, because Man City away there would run through that midfield.
And even teams like Villa, you go to Villa Park, you flow in football. Like, there's times they're just going to absolutely outdo you. But Martinez and Emery come back to haunt Arsenal. I think Emery's done great this year, hasn't he?
Oh, more than great.
Honestly, I think it's like he's come in and there was no pressure on him when he came into Villa.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the guy. He was from Sevilla. Sevilla's old managers that were initially there, and then he obviously got sacked, and then they got Emery in, and no one expected him to even challenge really. Maybe conference, but no one expected him to do what he's done. Whereas at Arsenal, he comes in Wenger's replacement. Yeah, it's not a harder job in football, is there? Someone that's been there that long, it's a tricky one. And Martinez, what are your thoughts on him?
I quite enjoy him.
I hate him.
I
hate him.
The shithousery, I quite enjoy it.
Exactly. I just can't handle it. He gets in your head, but that's what he's trying to do.
Oh, yeah, you don't want it against your team, but
no,
it's entertaining.
Fair play to him. Like, he's left Arsenal and like he's literally won Ballon d'Or for goalkeepers. Yeah. So I can't sit here as a university student and criticise him, but I'm not a fan. And then I'd say the last big thing on this game, David Raya.
Yeah.
What are we thinking?
I mean, me personally, you'll have an opinion as an Arsenal fan, but I don't think he's much better than Ramsdale. I would say they're on par.
To me, I know it's looking at it almost like a FIFA career mode here, but Ramsdale's 2 years younger, 2 inches taller. I'm assuming he's got like longer arms. And I think he's a similar goalkeeper. And the reason Raya was brought in for his distribution, clearly, which I've got nothing wrong with, but his distribution's not been good. I understand, like, maybe again it's a pressure thing. He's coming to this team to replace a fan favourite, what Ramsdale has become now. But the one reason he's been brought in, he's not done.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's getting better, definitely. And I think at the end of the day, it's clearly who Arteta wants. And, like, as an Arsenal fan, I've seen this. Nobody there were question marks over Leno, but no one wanted him to just go. All of a sudden, Arteta's brought in someone who's been relegated 3 seasons in a row, Ramsdale. No one wanted him, spent 30 mil on him, and everyone was like, why are we getting him? He turned out to be one of the fan favourites. So I think when Arteta gets a player in his mind that he thinks fits the system, he don't care.
I do think...
And to be fair, I love Arteta.
Yeah,
I trust the guy.
You can't question him.
You can.
I do think Raya's shot stopping has been a bit questionable.
I don't think it's sustainable long term, but I do almost think at this point, if Raya does something wrong, give Ramsdale a run in. If he genuinely is switching all the time, maybe it works, but then you're not going to get that momentum of a player on form, are you?
No.
I think it's an impossible situation. I think it only ends with Ramsdale leaving.
I think that is the outcome that will happen.
Which hurts, but as well, the thing for me as well is, think of the value of Ramsdale. It goes less and less every single week. So you're losing, like, people are arguing that he should be starting for England. I don't know, I like Nick Pope. I don't think Pickford should, but you're going from a young goalkeeper, I think he's 24, 25, who should be starting for England, to someone who's kind of start for Arsenal. Like, he's not going to sell for any more than 20, 30 mil, is he?
Exactly, yeah.
Which I think, if you was to say, Aaron Ramsdale starting for Arsenal last year, say Chelsea wanted him, probably looking at 50, 60 mil in today's market. Like, I don't know, it just feels like a waste of money getting Raya, but, we trust Arteta. The next game that happened that I think is my favourite one of the week is United 0, Bournemouth 3. We watched this, didn't we?
We did.
We did watch it. And then I think one you're going to shout out is Solanke.
What a player. Liverpool legend.
He was good, wasn't
he? He's a good striker. Good striker.
For Bournemouth, he's perfect, isn't he?
Yeah.
Almost like an Ivan Toney, like he's there. He does a brilliant job. Gets you goals.
He puts a shift in.
I was impressed. I haven't watched a lot of Dominic Solanke ball, but you know what? He was doing very well. Varane couldn't even get on the bench that game, could he?
So some dodgy going on there.
Some weird clubs, Man United.
They are a mess.
It's weird. And then like even Wan-Bissaka, he didn't start. I think he needs to be in the team starting.
Yeah.
Defensively, you can't question him. Like I was someone who questioned 50 mil for him, but defensively, I personally don't rate Dalot at all.
Especially when United are so shaky at the back.
Exactly. If you've won 10 games in a row, you're playing brilliant football. Bruno's pinging it in. You got, I don't know, Anthony cutting inside, whipping it in fair. But in the form that United are in, or not even the form, because this is what we were saying. Like in the Prem, they're not doing too bad. United, are they?
Yeah, they're on 3 points behind City. But
there's just something missing. Like obviously the Champions League, they've gone out last night, but there is just something missing. And I think you need, similar to what I was saying about Rice needs a partner, you need that solid base, don't you?
Yeah.
And right now, with their defence, it's question marks.
A lot of their players aren't good enough for where Man United should be, where Man United used to be under Ferguson.
Exactly. Well, we'll get into that later. Next, I want to go over Fulham 5, West Ham 0. I didn't watch the game. But first of all, we both pointed out when we were watching the highlights, Harry Wilson. He looks good, doesn't he? Back to his best. And yeah, he had a very good game, didn't he, off the bench?
He did have a good game. He's just so silky.
He's the guy, isn't he? Raul Jimenez. I think he got a brace that game. Let's see. Maybe one. I can't see. Jimenez, though, he looks back to where he used to be at Wolves, I think. He scored again recently.
It took him a bit of time after that head injury, but
can't blame him, can you? But
last 2 games, I think that's 3 for him now. 3 in his last 2.
Proper again. He's that kind of striker that Fulham needs. Someone that maybe he's not the youngest, maybe he's not the quickest, maybe he's not the strongest, but he'll get you 15, 20 goals a season.
Composed.
And on form. Do you remember him at Wolves?
Yeah.
Prime Raul Jimenez.
Proper bagsman.
Right. You were scared of him. Him next to like Adama Traore on the right.
Jota on the left. They were good teams.
And even that result, like, Fulham have gone up to 10th, West Ham are still 9th. So, like...
They're pushing, they're doing well. Say they sold Mitrovic in the summer.
It was a good win. Like, it's not like they've gone and beat Luton 5-0. And 2-5 wins in a row.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, there's something going on, and I think...
They're building something at Fulham, and Marco Silva there was talks of him going to Saudi Arabia in the summer with Mitrovic.
And Palhinha. Literally off to Bayern. Deadline day, it was all done. He was at the airport.
He was in Germany. He was at the training ground, everything.
So, like, for them to have done this, and then again, with the whole Raya thing, Bern Leno, he does the job, doesn't he?
He does.
Like, they've got a good...
the perfect team for him.
He's a great keeper. Some more results from the week. Where is it? Here we are. Everton beat Chelsea 2-0.
Yeah,
that's 2 losses in a row.
I was surprised for Chelsea.
I am surprised. I thought they was knocking on a bit.
They're so inconsistent.
They are. And that's the last thing I expected. When you've got a squad like that, I think it's not acceptable what they've done in the last 2 years. But as well, I think at some point you just know they're going to kick on.
Yeah.
So when they got a few decent results after like drawing with Arsenal, they drew with City, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like they got a few wins. I think...
Beat Tottenham 4-1.
Exactly. You just expect it to kick on. And then 2 losses in a row. Like, to me, to lose that United side is embarrassing. Like,
and they did not play well. They made United look really good.
They did. And that was infuriating to watch because they're just United are rubbish. And then Chelsea losing 2-1 to Everton. I just think something that's happened. But as well, like, if you look at the team on paper, they've got so many good players. But, like, similar to United, we were saying about United, like, nothing really stands out. Like, for the amount of money they've spent, I don't think it's a good team. Not at all. But how about your thoughts on Robert Sanchez?
Robert Sanchez, oh my. I do not rate him.
I think the issue with him is...
I do not rate him.
And we'll get on to it, but I think the issue with him is similar to United. They had Kepa, who was getting a bit better compared to what he used to be.
Yeah.
Tenfold better. But he was still a bit of like a question mark. And Poch has come in and obviously thought, Kepa, maybe not. But what I would have done is keep them both. Sign Robert Sanchez, because like, I think you were like 15, 20 mil. In today's market, it's not the end of the world. Like, for a proven Prem keeper, sign him, yeah, but then have them compete against each other. Don't send your current best goalkeeper out on loan to Spain and then have Robert Sanchez as your only number 1. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you'd have kept them both, 20 mil, one of them's going to kick on. But now it's all Robert Sanchez. And again, it's his first season with Chelsea. There's not a harder job probably to be the goalkeeper at Chelsea.
Especially when they're so defensively shaky. It's
Exactly.
getting shots flown at him.
But then the issue with Chelsea, unlike United, really, well, United have spent a lot of money, but Chelsea have spent so much money. At what point can they stop spending? Like, if your team's not working, say the defence is shaky, you go and sign a 6'4" Van Dijk, like a solid defender, but they've done that. The amount of players that they've signed, like, the answer can't always
keep doing it until it eventually works.
That's what I mean. I thought with that philosophy, as much if you can afford it at some point, you'd think it'd come good. But like Mudryk doesn't look like he was supposed to. I think he's a great player from the highlight reels I've seen, but like he doesn't look like he was supposed to be. And Kunku did look good in pre-season, but again, it's pre-season. Palmer looks a great player, doesn't he?
Yeah, Palmer's a good signing.
Palmer is a good one.
Signing.
And then like Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo, two most expensive players in history, Premier history, and like. Neither of them look better than Declan Rice, better than Rodri.
Exactly.
Like, I don't think they're anywhere near that level yet. Like, people say Enzo's played well. Maybe he has. I don't watch every Chelsea game, but he doesn't stand out.
He's played well at points, but he hasn't played £100 million.
No.
Just come off winning the World Cup. Things like they paid £100 million. He had a good 6 months or something in Benfica and won the World Cup. They just throw money at anyone.
The way I look at it is, and I might be wrong here, but they could have spent that money on him, Caicedo, who's the other one that signed? Lavia. And I think they'd all do the same job, like they're all right. I think, which obviously there's no way of predicting it, but Enzo Fernandez, I think he was so inflated from the World Cup. Like, from what I've seen of him, he looks all right. Put Palhinha in there. Like, Palhinha does no worse. So that's the thing. I think he's a waste of money at that price. And I think they need to lead. They need a leader. Like, Thiago Silva's doing well, but they need someone a bit older. Because just look at the team, how young it is. The amount of young players that they've got there.
True. But they need time. Because they've got so many new players, a new manager.
Exactly. Like,
they do need time to sort of get rhythm.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're not in a position to really comment because we don't watch Chelsea week in, week out. But from what I've seen, I'm not a fan. Right, Champions League last night. It's a Wednesday while we're doing this. Obviously, there is games tonight that we will go over, but they're yet to happen. But the biggest results from last night that we've got here: Real Madrid 3-2 against Berlin.
A good comeback. But
I think they were already 3-1 there.
Yeah, Real Madrid. I think they won every game in the group.
Exactly. Match week 6, you don't really get a great happen unless you get a group like Galatasaray's. But Napoli 2-1 against Braga. Lens beat Sevilla 2-1. The big thing that I saw from that is Sergio Ramos got a penalty, missed the penalty, then he got retaken, scored the penalty, and then he's kicked the keeper in the head by accident and got a card. Like, it's madness.
The only player who'd manage that.
And then he shushed the fans for Lens to go and score a 96th-minute winner.
Now they're not even going into Europe.
That's what I mean, which you'll be happy about.
I'm very happy about that.
Sevilla in Europa League, you don't want it. PSV 1-all against Arsenal, if we're honest. Probably the most boring game of football we've ever watched.
I mean, Arsenal just started the second string side.
You can't blame it.
That Bakayoko, though, he looks like a good player for PSV, the winger.
He did look good. I like who even scored for it. I think Ketty won it.
Yeah.
That was a nice goal. But, and then PSV goal were really nice, wasn't it? But I just think again, Arteta's probably not mad with it.
No.
Like, he'll come out and tell the media that he wants to win in every game, which he obviously does, but I think to him, it's not the end of the world.
People like Nelson and run out.
Saliba went off. I don't know how serious that is. That is a big worry, especially after last season. If Saliba didn't get injured last season, I personally think we'll win the league, but you know, he's a big loss if he is out. And then he made his return.
He did.
Got injured. He's done
Surprisingly.
But so yeah, that's that group. You've got Arsenal and who else went through? Was it Lens?
I think Lens.
Lens. Good team. They beat us, didn't they? Right. My favourite group of all. You've got Copenhagen 1, Galatasaray 0. Copenhagen have done well. They've got through, haven't they?
Yeah, they've done really well.
From when we've watched them, which will be against Man United, they've done well. Same with Galatasaray. They'll take Europa League, won't they? In that group, when you look at it, Bayern, Man United, Copenhagen, Galatasaray, you think one of Copenhagen or Galatasaray going out. So from both to get European football, they can't complain. I think Galatasaray, they've looked fun to watch when I've watched them.
You get drawn in a group with them, so you think you can't.
You think it's over. Yeah. Europa League or nothing. So they've done well. Bayern, They've had a good run out. The unbeaten, I think I saw 16 points out of 18.
Yeah.
Tuchel won't complain.
Can't complain now.
Exactly. Kane's firing. And then United, they're out. Another loss. I think Onana were all right. Didn't do anything major.
Didn't have his usual Champions League performances.
They're just rubbish to watch. Like, what?
They are terrible.
I saw some Højlund didn't have a shot. He didn't have a shot on target. He didn't have he did nothing. But also, that's not on him. But then again, you've got to question, is it the service? Or then you look at McTominay getting a brace against Chelsea. Is it his movement?
Yeah, exactly.
If McTominay can do it from midfield, he should be at least having a shot.
Yeah.
Anthony and Garnacho. Now, genuinely, I want your thoughts. Both of them. Collectively.
I think Anthony's a big waste of 100 mil. I do quite like Garnacho as a player. I do. I
think Garnacho's better, and I think if you spoke to a United fan, they'd say Garnacho is the next Ronaldo.
Oh, yeah, they'll exaggerate massively.
I think, what was it? Was it the Chelsea game where everything went through Garnacho? We was watching one.
Chelsea.
I think he's a good player, but I think it almost seems like, especially when Rashford isn't starting the past few games, I think everything's gone down his side, which is great that they trust him, but maybe a bit more end product.
Yeah, you need to actually be getting something out of it.
Anthony, I think he's the most predictable player ever. I'd compare him to a Nicolas Pepe, which I love Nicolas Pepe, and I think he would have been a great player if he stayed in France, but he was predictable. He gets the ball, he'll do a few step overs, he'll cut in on his left. Pepe put it in the top corner. Anthony, not as much. Yeah, I don't see Anthony really kicking on. And then again, Ten Hag signed him.
Yeah, exactly. They spent a lot of money at Man United.
I know, you can't complain about the money spent at all. And then the last two games, you've got Benfica beating Salzburg. Di Maria scored direct from a corner.
Yeah. Fair play.
Good player in his day, isn't he?
Yes.
And then Inter 0-0 Sociedad, I've got nothing.
No.
We didn't watch it.
I don't think it changed the groups.
No, I don't even know who went through in that group, but everyone watching United.
Inter and Sociedad went through, and Benfica got Europa.
And I was watching a video earlier. Apparently, with United going out, it all comes. This fifth placing that people are talking about. Fifth place could get it. It's like how the English, every team does in Europe.
Yeah.
So if United going out, maybe that means that we don't get the fifth place and we go to a Spanish club. Other teams in the league aren't going to be happy with that.
No.
So I'd say...
Yeah, because Villa could be looking, if we finish even fifth, that's Champions League,
isn't it? Yeah. And as well, the issue for United is they could end up finishing fifth. I don't see United getting top four, so United might need that fifth spot. So without it, they might struggle. And then tonight's games, you've got Newcastle-Milan. Just give us a few predictions. Newcastle versus AC Milan at St James's Park.
Newcastle have not been on form recently. The Everton game.
They're currently bottom. It's similar to the United game, if they win, they could. But they are currently bottom.
They've got quite a few injuries. But St James's Park, it'll be bouncing.
They will.
I can definitely see them winning, but I also can see it being a draw.
Yeah, I could see that, a high-scoring draw maybe.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone's going to go for it tonight.
And Karius is going to be in net as well, so we don't know how that's going to go.
We'll see with that.
His last game in Champions League was not very good.
Exactly. And then you've got Dortmund, PSG, similar. I think Dortmund will be fun to watch. I think they're going to go for it. That's at Dortmund. See, again, that's going to be bouncing.
A good
you hear about the yellow wall. That's going to be big. My prediction for that, though, I think PSG might be close to already being through, if not already.
I think that they're all on around about the same point. I think Milan, because they've all kind of just beat each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll quickly look at the table now. You've got Dortmund at top. We're wrong. Dortmund is top with 10 points, so they're already qualified, actually. So again, that could be a question mark. PSG are second with 7 points, and Newcastle and Milan have 5 points. So there's a chance PSG don't qualify.
So, but if Newcastle win
and PSG lose, Newcastle go through, PSG get Europa League football.
If PSG draw, what's the goal difference saying? Who?
1, but then we saw the thing last night. It was head to head.
Head to head.
So on goal difference, if PSG drew, they'd have 1. If Newcastle won, they'd at least be drawing because Newcastle are on 0 right now. So if goal difference is a thing, yeah. But to me, I only see Dortmund and PSG going through. But then
that's the more likely.
PSG have got to go for it. They have to. With their squad, like, there's a chance they don't qualify.
There's a chance Dortmund rotate.
Yeah, exactly. Some other matches that aren't as exciting as that group, you got Man City versus...
Go on.
Crvena Zvezda.
Red Star, I think.
It might be Red Star. Yeah, I think it is Red Star, sort of that. It's at Red Star.
I mean, City have qualified. You'll see like Calvin Phillips and that starting.
Yeah. Exactly.
They probably will still win, but
it'll be close, I reckon. Yeah.
Then you're not going to be bothered whether they win or not.
No.
Then again, they might just...
Pep's the kind of guy to go out on 6-0,
Yeah.
especially with how questionable they've been in the league recently. They've won every single Champions League game so far. I could see him going out to win that. As well with that group, it's already done. You have City have qualified on all 15 points, Leipzig have 9 points, Young Boys have 4, and then Red Star have 1. So the only way this group changes is if Red Star beat Man City by 2 or more goals and Young Boys lose to get Europa League football, but like there's nothing really in it. Exactly, there's not a great deal in it. You've got Antwerp, Barcelona. Barcelona are already through. Then you've got Porto, Shakhtar, which I believe they're both tied on 9 points. So that'll be a good game. Both on 9 points. It's in Porto. It should be a good game, that.
Yeah. You'd
quite close.
Porto. I think you'd back Porto.
I think I'd back Porto. And then you've got Celtic, Feyenoord, Atletico Madrid, Lazio.
I think that group's done. Atletico and Lazio, I'd like to say.
Atletico through, Lazio through, Feyenoord third. Yeah, it's already done. Yeah. The whole group is completely done. So I imagine that won't be the best. Right, okay, next. Well, a bit of fun to it. We are going to do a weekly accumulator on Premier League football here, okay? So I'm going to get up. Yeah. We've selected 7 games from this upcoming week that we think are the best games. And we're going to put a £1 accumulator on the winner. We'll predict the result, but we're going to put it on a winner just so it's a bit more reasonable. And we will see who gets the most wins throughout the week. So, Forest Spurs, I'm going to kick it off with a 2-1 Spurs win. Is that Forest, by the way?
I am thinking... I agree with the Spurs win, but I think it will be 3-1 to Spurs.
3-1 Spurs, okay. We've got City Palace at Man City's ground.
I think it'll be...
It's a tough one.
Watching Palace last week, that was at Palace.
Yeah.
They weren't great, but we were terrible. I think it'll be 3-0 Man City. No, it's 2-0 Man City.
I'm going to do 4-1 Man City, and you're going 2-0, yeah?
2-0 Man City.
That's fine. And then I'm going to go Chelsea versus Sheffield United at Chelsea. You'd expect Chelsea.
You'd hope they could win.
But then just think about how bad they was in that run.
But then Sheffield United, I mean, Sheffield United, they beat Brentford the other day. Chris Wilder.
Yeah.
Building a bit of form.
He's back. Do you know what? I'm going to go 1-0. I'm going to go a draw.
I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea.
I think they've got enough quality just to beat them.
You'd hope.
Yeah.
Next, we've got Newcastle Fulham at Newcastle's ground. That's a brilliant game, I think.
Newcastle aren't really on form. Fulham are very on form.
Yeah.
It's an awkward one to predict.
Newcastle the favourites here.
Yeah. I think I could see it being a draw.
I could see a draw, but seeing as you went for a win last time, I'm going to go with a Newcastle 2-0.
2-0?
Yeah. And they've got to come back. They've got to. But I like Fulham recently. 2 5-0 wins in a row. No. Yeah, I'll stick at 2-0.
I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle.
2-1 Newcastle.
I think they'll score late to make it 2-1.
Yeah, and then we have Burnley versus Everton at the 5:30 kickoff at Burnley's ground.
Everton have been very good on form recently, but that's at home. Don't know how they'll be away. Burnley just...
Burnley still bottom?
No, Sheffield United at the bottom, I think.
Both on 8 points. Okay.
Burnley did just beat Sheffield United 5-0.
Yeah.
They just drew to Brighton.
Good point.
They're starting to turn it up a bit, but Everton...
Going with...
God,
at Burnley.
I can see it. I think it'll be a draw. 2-2 draw.
I'm going to go 2-0 Everton. They're doing well.
I think Actually, no, I'm
on
going to go
13
1-1
points, and that's with the minus 10 in it.
Yeah,
So they should be on 23, which would mean they'll be
that's
sat.
fair. Actually.
They'll be sat 10th above
I didn't
Fulham.
realise they were doing that well.
So I mean, they'll be sat 10th above Fulham. I feel like Sean Dyche just finally got into it.
I'll go 2-1 Everton.
I'm going to go 2-0 Everton.
I think Burnley score.
Now, the next two games, the last two, mean something to us. Arsenal-Brighton, I think that's a very tough game.
It is.
After Arsenal losing to Villa, Arteta's going to want his team back.
Brighton haven't been as good this season. It's like what?
At Arsenal as well.
I think Arsenal will win 3-1. Just straight thrown in. Yeah, I think a 3-1 Arsenal.
Just straight up the same, I'm going to go with a 4-1, but I do like that.
I don't see Raya keeping a clean sheet.
Raya can't keep a clean sheet. And then the last game, we've got Liverpool United, the best game of the week. I think I only see one winner.
I can only see Liverpool winning, but that's the thing.
Form.
The way everyone's saying that, Liverpool's going to be another 7-0, there's a bit of a worry there.
Exactly. I don't know, actually. A draw's screaming to me, but I'm going to go with a Liverpool win and a 5-0 Liverpool win. We're doing it.
I think it'll be 4-0.
At Anfield.
I think it'll be the same as when...
Salah hat-trick.
Same as the 21-22 season. 4-0 at Anfield.
Exactly.
And I can see a Darwin Núñez brace.
Yeah, now have you been updating your odds? What are we up to for you?
Right now I'm at 18-1.
18-1?
What are you?
I'm currently sat at an 85-1 accumulator. So we're going to...
my predictions.
You haven't put scores on, have you, now?
No.
That's fine.
I didn't put any draws, did I?
I did, that's why.
No, that's why, yeah.
I've got one draw between Chelsea and Sheffield United. Yeah, we'll submit that, so that'll be £86.40 coming to me, which will get noted down.
So if I put a quid, it's only going to be a
£19.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's fine. £19 going to Freddie if he wins. That is our predictions for this week's Premier League. Next, new sport, we're going to go to boxing. Okay, now let me just get up what I've got written down. This week we've watched both slightly. Devin Haney versus Grace. Can't lie, we fell asleep.
It was an early one.
We watched I got up to the 6th round, I think.
I got the 4th round before I was gone.
A good knockdown. Haney looked like he was dominating him. I'll be honest, I don't know a great deal about this division. Haney looked like he was going to get the knockout. He didn't.
Haney was
He's moved up. I think he's gone up to 140 though, hasn't he? I think that was his first fight at 140.
Yeah, he's moved up.
He's doing well. He looks good, and that division does look like it's heating up. You've got your Haney, you've got Tang, you've got Joanna Davis. That's the same person.
Nice one.
You've got Ryan Garcia. Like, it looks like he's getting better. I'll be honest, I got into it through Tyson Fury, into boxing. So I'm used to the heavyweight division, but it does look better. More names, it's what you want in it. We also watch Billum Smith versus Mattersnack. Now, what are your thoughts on this?
It's a bit of a weird one.
I'll be honest, I had not watched either of them fight before. You'd watched
I've watched Billum Smith fight before. He's a good fighter. And he was losing. I would say, personally, he was losing the fight.
On Sky Sports, he said that he was like 4 or 5 points down by the round he won.
Yeah,
he was definitely the favourite. Billum Smith, he was definitely the favourite. Like, we lumped a pound on Mattersnack to win and just get a good odds. I think I would have got like £10 if he won.
Yeah.
Whereas,
I put a $5 on Billum Smith to win. I got £7 back, something like that.
There you are.
Odds weren't very good.
I had £3 on Billum Smith to win by knockout / TKO. I think I got £3.60 or something stupid. So I think, again, I don't know a great deal about both guys, but Mattersnack, he did well. The first round, I thought Billum Smith looked a lot better than Mattersnack, and as a new guy,
he grew into it. He's a tough guy.
He looks like it. You won't want to fight him.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to fight someone, I'm not wanting to look at him at the other side of the ring. I'm all right. We've got 2 fights written down here. The traditional fans might not like these fights, but at the end of the day, it's growing. I think it's great. I love it. And also the first boxing match I properly watched was KSI versus Joe Weller. So we're going to mention it. KSI versus Speed in a live event at 4 a.m. on Friday for some reason. What are your thoughts? I think we know who would win if it happens, but
it's not going to be proper.
It's going to be silly, isn't it?
It's just, I think they're going to be taking the piss.
I think they're taking the piss. I think it goes the full distance because You can't knock
I
out
don't think
Boston.
I don't think it'll go very long. I think.
Do you think he just gives up?
Yeah. Because even if they both knew how to box, KSI's probably £40 bigger than him.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel
KSI
like
won't try.
KSI not trying, he's still going to hurt speed. A guy that's not been punched before, like I've not been
and he
punched.
doesn't know. He's never probably even watched boxing. It seems from those clips being released.
It looks good, doesn't it?
His stance, there's
falling into the pool.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
He's an entertainer though, so you got to expect. I wouldn't.
They are doing it for entertainment.
They're doing it for another reason though. 4 a.m.
Oh yeah,
Jake Paul. That is to compete with Jake Paul. Fighting against Andre August. Now, I want your thoughts on Jake Paul as a boxer first.
He's done well for himself. He knows how to promote himself. He knows how to make money. I don't like the fact he's saying he's gonna, a couple of years time, he'll be beating Canelo. I don't like that.
Not a fan.
But you can't hate him for what he's done.
You can't hate him.
And like the commitment he's given to the sport and actually putting a shift in.
In my opinion, I did not like the guy, but I think he's his most likeable self as a boxer, and most people would disagree with that because everyone tunes in to watch him lose, and that's why he's so good.
Yeah.
That's why he's so good. For example, like, for me first getting into boxing when I watched Wilder, all I wanted was a Fury win, so much so that you just want Wilder to lose. Whereas now, I really like Wilder because that made me actually care about the fight. Having a villain makes the fight grow.
Yeah.
So I think people hate on him. I quite like him as a fighter. Not as a world champion, but I like what he's done for the sport because he's brought me into the sport, these kind of fights. It brings most people in. I think you can't knock it. Looking at Andre August here, he's 35. I imagine people have something to say about that. He's had 12 fights, 10 wins, 5 by knockout, 1 loss, knocked out. And I think he was knocked out by someone who was 3-3, and he is now 7-16.
Yeah, he's got a terrible record, yeah.
Questionable. And 1 draw. I don't know what happened in the draw. To me, from what I'm seeing, the event's small. It's not sold out, and I don't think Jake Paul cares about that. We watched his vlog thing last night. You can just see it's just training, and you have to respect that. Like a guy who could make millions from just putting his name out there, he's going with the smaller event. Like if Jake Paul fought, it sounds even if he had a Tyron Woodley trilogy, I reckon he sells tickets.
Yeah.
So if the fight's something that no one's ever heard of, I can't sit here and question the numbers that he's pulling in because he's doing that for a reason. If Jake Paul wants a big fight, he fights KSI.
Yeah.
Simple. So
there's plenty of MMA fighters that he can go and ask for a fight and it'll make big money.
Conor McGregor versus Jake Paul. Huge. And I think he's going down a pro boxer's route, isn't he?
He is.
Look at
committing himself to the game.
Look at all these top fighters' first fights.
Yeah, you've got to respect him.
We can't
on that front, but he does have a very good team around him, and they've picked this guy for a reason.
Yeah,
because he's got the pro record, the positive record, but he's not going to do anything.
No, I think if I was a betting man, I would put it on a Jake Paul knockout.
It'll be 8 rounds. I think
it goes similar to the Tyron Woodley fight, in my opinion. I know nothing about Andre August, but when I watch Jake Paul in a fight compared to when I watch his training footage, he's a different guy. I don't know if the moment gets to him, if the footage is manipulated to make him look like a pro boxer. He looks different in his actual fights. So I think maybe he comes in and Andre August has boxed his whole life. He had a 4-year layoff, I saw, but at the end of the day, the guy knows how to box. So I think Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley, especially his second, Woodley was beating him.
Yeah, second one was not very.
He was outboxing him, and then he started to get a bit tired, hands drop, boom, knockout of the year. I think you could see this happening again. I think August will come in, probably underestimate Jake Paul, like you see it time and time again. These guys, they underestimate the YouTubers. Even Tommy Fury against KSI, whatever you think the win was, Tommy didn't want the fight to go that way. Tommy couldn't get his jab out. I think these YouTubers are better than what the pro boxers expect, so I think my prediction will be a Jake Paul 5th round knockout. I've got some questions for you now. Opponents Jake Paul could fight, okay? We've got 5. Now, I have a clear winner, but you hear people asking it. Deji in a rematch. Deji thinks he'd win.
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul win. I agree. Next, we're going to go with Nate Diaz in an MMA fight. I'm not an MMA guy.
Destroy him.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. KSI.
Again, I do. I don't know after KSI Tommy Fury, but it's so hard to predict the way someone's going to fight against KSI because he's such an unorthodox, weird style. It's like you can't predict how someone's going to perform against that.
No.
But I can see that KSI split decision win.
I agree. In my opinion, when I watched Jake Paul against Tommy, I think Jake got overwhelmed by Tommy's style. And if you're going to get overwhelmed by someone, it's because I was watching the fight back, KSI versus Tommy, and like I don't box, but I'm watching KSI run at Tommy. In the moment, like it's easy to say, just free jab, boom, clean left, he's out. But like in that moment, he's so sharp. So if it ever happens, I'll be honest, I'd lead more to a KSI split decision.
Before the Tommy Fury fight, there was literally no footage of KSI in that sort of stance.
Exactly.
But now there's Jake Paul would have a full 6-round fight versus Tommy Fury to train.
True. I don't know. I think it goes either way. I can see why people would predict Jake Paul. Tommy Fury rematch, I think Tommy.
Yeah, I think Tommy as well.
And Vidal Riley. I know. Well, it's been mentioned.
Vidal would get it done within 2 rounds.
2 rounds?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's our predictions. KSI kill speed. Jake Paul knockout of the year. It's Andre August. And then just to finish it off, we're going to go back to football. We've got 4 minutes left. I'm going to go through the Man United squad and I want you to do a keep, sell, loan quickly, okay? By India. He signed this year, goalkeeper. I think he was from...
Keep him. Back up, might as well.
Tom Heaton, get rid.
Yes.
Onana.
I'd give him till the end of the season.
I would, similar to how Chelsea have got Robert Sanchez, I'd get an alright keeper, have them compete. Which, this Bay India guy might be the one.
I'd see until
Give him a chance.
Onana's doing come May, and if he's still terrible, just ship him off.
Okay, right, I want straight away. Lindelof.
Keep.
Maguire.
Keep.
Lisandro Martinez.
Keep.
Malacia.
Keep.
Regulon.
Sell.
Varane.
Keep.
He doesn't want him. Sell.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Dallo. Sell.
Sell, yeah, I don't like him.
Luke Shaw.
Keep.
I don't like him, but keep him. Wan-Bissaka.
Keep.
I like him, but I don't think he's going to get used a lot. Johnny Evans.
Sell.
Brandon Williams when he's back from
Sell.
Amrabat, keep. Mason Mount, you've got to keep him.
You have to, but I mean,
There's question marks over that signing.
There's a lot of question marks.
Bruno Fernandes, keep. Ericsson, keep. Amad Diallo, I like him. He's injured, isn't he?
Yeah.
I like him.
But on paper, they're good. On paper, they're good players.
Talents, young.
They're just shit.
Casemiro. I think keep him, but you got to look at replacing him. He has another year in him, probably. Palestri, keep, but I don't think he's correct up to what they signed him for like 30
Maybe
million.
loan him out.
Loan him, yeah. Van der Beek, sell. Kobe Mainu, keep. McTominay, I like him as a squad player.
Yeah, I'd keep him as a squad. If they're starting him, if it's the option of start him or sell him,
You sell, 100%. Hannibal, loan, I don't.
He annoys me, I don't like him.
Martial has to go.
Sell.
Rashford, I'd personally keep him, but I don't think there's much more that he has to offer, really, at United.
He needs to improve. He's too inconsistent.
Exactly.
He'll have a season on, season off.
Hoyland, keep. Garnacho, keep. Anthony, keep. But I don't rate him again. I don't see him getting...
I wouldn't say no to selling him and getting someone else.
You could see him falling out with a manager at some point. Like, the way he's going, you could see something happening with him. I don't think he's a good guy to have
about Man United, I think they need to be ruthless.
Definitely.
They need to just... Anthony's not good enough, sell him. Buy someone who's good.
Sancho.
Sell.
I'd build a team around him.
They have to get rid of him.
I'd build a team around him.
He doesn't want to be there.
He won't even apologise. Shola Shoretire.
Loan him.
Sell, I don't know. And Greenwood. I don't think you can have a Mason Greenwood at a squad like United.
Get him out.
And send him somewhere.
Just...
Last one, Ten Hag.
Yeah, that is on 10.
Give him 5 games.
See where he's at come Christmas. No, see where he's at come the end of January.
Yeah, I mean, Arteta had time. I don't see a clear play style, but to me, you have to give him a tiny
he's
bit
been
of
here
time.
for well over a year now.
There's not
You'd
a great
expect to
deal
see
going
a clear style of play.
Exactly. Right. Well, there we are. Thank you for watching, and we will see how much we won on our accumulator next week.
Episode.